Hey, it's Tom. Many of you might remember this from a few years back. It's a wool capote that I made. And I'm going to bring you some updates on it. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So this is the wool capote that I made. I had a series of videos about 2 years ago making this. Now, I've always heard that the wool capote was the thing to have out here. Some guys call it a capote, some guys call it a capote. It's a wool capote. Okay. Just a quick update on it. I've been using it now for about 2 years. Using it in different fashions, different methods, along with a lot of other wool. You see me see my video on the Asbel wool and Anorak. I have to say, I love wool garments. They take you back to a different time. It's kind of like this hat. They take you back to a different time, put you in a different realm of space. But I do have to say this. They keep you outstandingly warm. But, in my opinion, my personal thinking, you really need an undergarment with wool. Like right now it's 27 out here, and I have my fleece hoodie on underneath this that you've seen me wear before, and I am nice and toasty. This garment will not hold its own with just a capote. A lot of people told me it will, but it just don't. So if you're going to have wool garments and you're wondering why, you're not exceptionally warm in them, that's one of the reasons why. Because in my opinion, there are some people out there that are just Eskimos and they can be warm in a t-shirt in this weather. Me, on the other hand, I'm up there in age, I get colder faster. And although I love my wool, it needs a underlayer, and sometimes even an overlayer. If it's really cold out here, I'll put another blanket on over this or something. I've been trying it for a couple of years of doing it the old-fashioned methods, I guess you'd call it. And to be perfectly honest with you, something like this wool capote, if I had a heavy anorak to put over it, or one of my hunting frocks, if they were big enough to put over the top of this, it probably would be exceptionally warm. Which it is now with just this little fleece hoodie underneath it, but I mean, it's 27 out here. I'm in the sunlight, so you can't see my breath, but it's 27 out here. And like I said, I'm staying warm. What I did with this coat is, you notice the sleeves are like extraordinarily big. Instead of cuffing them off, I left a long cuff on them. That cuff, if it's cold enough, I can roll it down over my hand, tuck my hand up underneath it, and now I've got a pair of gloves or something to cover my hands. If I don't need it, I can just roll it up, and it's out of the way. Now, a good friend of mine, Dino, when I first made this, he said, okay, let's see you using it in the woods. And I really don't use anything in the woods until I try it out and, see if it works the way it's supposed to. Like I said, many people talk about these being exceptionally warm garments, and they are, with an underlayer or an overlayer. Now, if you're going to use or make something like this, there's many patterns on YouTube for this. But if you're going to make something like this, get yourself a hard wool. This is a soft wool blanket, and its stitches pull out. I've repaired this coat I don't know how many times, because the stitches pull right out of it. I think it's dry rotted, but I'm not sure. I made a pair of pants out of this, the leftover from this blanket, and the pants did the same thing. But I can say for the wool pants that I made that with just long johns underneath it, it was perfectly fine. And like I said, if I was out on a hunting trip or a scouting trip right now, I'd have no problem sitting in this for hunting because of this underlayer of this wool, of this hoodie, which is a thin hoodie, but it's just that it needs that little bit of underlayer. And yes, I have a blanket pin because I don't have my belt with me here. But all in all, I would say, are they worth making? Yes, it's worth putting one of these together. If you had a Leicester River wool shirt or anything like that put together with this capote, you'd be toasty warm. It's got a very generous hood on it. And I seen a video the other day, which was really interesting, where the guy was talking about using the hood. There's historical records where people would put like fire kits and whatnot in the hood and use it for a small day pack kind of thing. Makes sense. Utilization. But with these capotes, there's no pockets either. So if you're going to wear one, and you're like me, I'm a pocket person. If you're going to wear one, just remember there's no pockets on these. So you're going to have to put a belt down with pouches and stuff, and make sure you have, good woolen gloves on to keep your hands warm. But this is the capote 2 years later. And would I advise you making one? Yep. Can you buy one? Yeah, they're about $200 to buy one. They're thicker wool and they're professionally sewn. Maybe that's something you might want to think about. Or look into one of the Masbel wool anoraks to put underneath this, put this over it, and then you'll be outrageously warm. So, this is Tom. I want to thank you for your time and your patience. If you liked the video, hit the like button. I can't get over saying that, so I'm just going to leave it in there. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one.